Boom! What's up, everyone? Welcome to Simulation. We are unboxing Viome right now. We are figuring out how to balance our gut health. We know so little about this bacteria and everything that lives inside of us right here. There's more bacterial cells than human cells inside of our body. These cells are billions of years old. Human cells are only millions of years old. So this is very exciting. There's more genetic expressions that happen here than in our human cells as well, with genes. So let's try and figure out our gut health. So in order to do so, we have Viome here. Viome is helping us take a look inside of our gut and get this personalized action plan for what to do. So our friends over at Viome have sent us a kit to unbox and check out and understand better exactly what to do. And I really appreciate what they're doing because, again, this is a really important step for us to figure out about our biology and about maximizing our health. So shout out to Viome and Naveen, Jain. Thank you very much for sending over the kit. And we have, for those that are interested in participating in this process with us and understanding your own microbiome, we have a discount code. It's Simulation. The link's in the bio. Just type in Simulation, you get $100 off your Viome order, so it'll be $299. So go check that out. All right, so now, as we kind of look into this, I want to bring up a couple things as, even prior to unboxing this, just so you guys get an idea of exactly what we're doing here. So something that really stuck as I was, looking at Viome.com here. And, as you look through kind of what they're saying here, this is some cutting edge technology that was developed for the national security at Los Alamos National Lab. So this is some top edge stuff. And they're aiming to detect nutrients and toxins being produced by the microbiome and give personalized recommendations, food and nutrients, to heal your gut. So hopefully to not have chronic conditions. So, their app here looks like they're, showing you about your wellness breakdown, in your inflammatory activity, digestive activity, foods that you should enjoy, foods that you should minimize, which is very interesting because Naveen was teaching me that it's not just, there's no universal truth to everybody that's applicable about what they should eat, which is crazy because you think spinach is probably good for everybody, but this is crazy interesting stuff. So as I want to unpack a little bit more about the science, they send you this kit and then they collect samples and then they analyze it and give you this feedback back on the app. And so now, this is really interesting. They identify strains of all organisms. This means bacteria, viruses, fungi, phages, yeast, parasites, etc. in your gut and how these organisms produce nutrients or toxins from the food that we eat. And they use AI engine.
You can lose those, you can zoom in a little bit on that.
Okay, yes, we'll definitely get a little zoom in. Good call, Ron.
Thank you.
And so, as you see here, this is a long list of stuff, not just bacteria, but viruses, fungi, phages, yeast, parasites. That's so much to analyze. This is called metatranscriptomics, which is very interesting. We'll unpack this right here as we go to the science page. I thought this was really interesting, the difference between Viome and other gut biome companies. So most people are just doing a metagenomic analysis, but Viome does a metatranscriptomics analysis. And so what we see here is we see that you identify all of these microorganisms living in your gut, and you get a high resolution of all of them, quantify the biochemical activities, identify which metabolites are being produced and which are missing, and the correlation of microbiomes to their functions with common chronic conditions. So actionable recommendations can be made. So this is very exciting stuff, and I think another really important point here is that right here, this is because microbes in your gut produce thousands of chemicals called metabolites. These affect your overall wellness. And so this is really important that some of these can cause coronary artery disease, and some of them, such as are beneficial to our health, like vitamin B and short-chain fatty acids. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox Viome and explore this in more detail. So here, what's really cool about Viome's kit is, I really like this. Conflicting food advice is now obsolete on one side. On the other side, imagine living in a world where illness is optional. Very visionary stuff. And Naveen is also the CEO of, founder of Moon Express as well, which is aiming to go to the moon. So, this is very visionary stuff, a world without illness and conflicting food advice being obsolete. So let's go ahead, and this is what happens when I don't prepare and bring a scissors. I'm just gonna open it that way. All right, so as we unpack, we see that the box is located inside of a sleeve. Okay, so that was the sleeve, and here's the actual kind of box, and it looks quite nice. It has a folding flap, quite a nice.
Oh, fancy.
It's quite fancy, yeah. Here we have, let's get started. So it says create your account, which we've already done. We've already made our account. Complete your questionnaires, which is very important to do. You've got to complete your questionnaire as well. And then that questionnaire is what is analyzed at the same time as the returning sample. And that's what gives you they analyze your test results and then get your results and recommendations. Okay, let's get started. Nice, gut intelligence. Oh, it's another kind of little box inside of thank you for ordering. Nice, this is quite nice packaging. Interesting. All right. So gut intelligence, let's see what's in here. So as we open this up, we have this pack that comes out. It looks like we have looks like a little bit of liquid, and I'm not sure if this is for which sample this is for. We'll read and we'll figure it out. Aha, we got some instructions on the side. Okay, 3 easy steps. Follow the instructions to complete your gut intelligence test. 1, collect. Use the tape measure to take your waist and hip measurements. You will enter this information to the app in the questionnaire section.
Are we going to do that live? Are we going to do this live? Are we going to defecate on the show?
Should we take
Can we do that? We should do that.
Stool sample on the show?
Let's do that. I'm totally,
Let's do the stool sample.
Well, it's all in good taste. It's
good taste,
biomedicine. It's important stuff.
Yes.
It's not obscene or lascivious or anything like that.
Hold on a moment as I take my stool sample.
Yeah.
On set. Exactly. That's so great. We will definitely do another, Naveen's coming on the show later in August, as well as we're doing some short clips with him about this content. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on this. Okay, so you were using this. Interesting. So we're using a tape measure first for
tape measure.
Yeah, I know. Interesting.
To see how long your stool is.
No, to take your waist and hip measurements. And so you're going to use this. This would be a pretty long stool.
I know, but when those come out, that's like, wow.
Wow, it's that long this time.
Let's be serious.
Let's be serious. So yes, okay, so waist and hip measurements. Okay, so we're giving them important data, and it's exciting to know exactly how they're going to end up using that data as well. And 2 stool collection papers of different sizes. Use the one that fits your toilet the best. Okay, interesting. So stool collection. I was wondering how they were going to have us collect it. So this is placed on the toilet, Oh, and it's taped to the toilet. Okay.
you
So you rip these out and you you rip these off and you tape them to the toilet like this, if this was the toilet bowl. And so it sits like that. And then when you take a poop,
you defecate. We don't take a poop. We have to talk clinical terms. You defecate.
And it sits there. And then from there, then you, ensure that the paper snags tightly. Carefully deposit your stool onto the paper. Okay, so that's how you collect.
Carefully deposit your stool on the paper. Do they have a little fork or anything in there? Like tiny little forks?
Carefully deposit your stool onto the paper.
You know, so... Go ahead.
And then transfer. So uncap the brown tube. Be careful not to spill the solution inside. Okay, that's this guy right here. And use the attached scoop to transfer one small scoop, not heaping.
What's a heaping scoop?
They're trying to tell you just take a small bit of your feces. Don't fill the whole tube with your fecal matter. And close tightly. Overloading the tube will cause problems with the analysis. Okay, so this is really important. So take that one small scoop. So here you can see, I'll bring this up close. There is a little scoop here, and so you want to keep it about that size of the scoop right there. So, okay, and it says shake vigorously for 30 seconds. Allow the tube to rest for 30 seconds. Repeat the shake rest steps 2 more times. So interesting. So they have these balls in here too, and I think these balls end up breaking up the feces with the solution, and then it breaks it up to a point of it being more easy for them to analyze. And then you shake, rest for 30, shake for 30, rest. Interesting. Okay. Ship. Place the brown tube in the rigid safety bag and seal the bag. Place in the prepaid return envelope and ship within 24 hours. Interesting. Okay.
Prepaid.
Yeah, prepaid. Here's first class package return service, prepaid. I'll put it up. I'll put it on this cam as well. Exempt human specimen, time sensitive, USPS. And then here's the biohazard bag.
Of course.
Yeah, biohazard. Please don't open this up and investigate it because it's got fecal matter in it. And interesting. So awesome. So this is an interesting unpackaging experience and how this works. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I don't know if this is for, this is interesting how they want you to collect it, because then you don't like put your hand in the toilet and all that other kind of stuff. But I personally don't mind that much. I've touched my own feces before, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But
thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. So this is very interesting to unpack and understand this better, and I'm really excited to be able to do more show of really interesting future technology like this. So
now, let's talk about, like, you're going to ship it off and remind us for what? What are they going to do to it? They're going to analyze it? And
yes, let's talk about that again. So there's this insane amount of analysis that needs to be done in our gut for us to understand us. And that means we have evolved over billions of years, thank goodness, to have lived on this rock now today. But specifically just the last 6 million or so years, we have evolved from monkeys into humans. And that means our human cells are just brand new, basically. These human cells have evolved and are brand new, pretty much. Versus bacterial cells, the bacterial cells that are located inside of our gut actually are, we've had quite a bit of conversation about how they are not so much we are in control, but the gut is in control. When was the last time that before you even knew it, that you realized you were at the fridge or opening up a cabinet looking for food? Did you come up with the conscious decision to go over there and get food? Sometimes yes, but sometimes no. It makes you wonder who's actually in control. and also what exactly you're eating and how that's affecting you. So these are billions of years old, these microbes. They were around first on the earth before humans evolved.
Well, I don't get it. How is that? How is that possible? There's something inside you that's older than the millions of years that you are, but billions of years, and that's through your fecal matter?
Through your microbiome. So the evolution of neurology. So for first of all, bacteria, even before neurons, even before neurology, bacteria and bacterial genetic expressions. So the first single-celled organisms, then the first multicellular organisms, then the development of neural systems like the neural infrastructure, even prior to us, of the initial primordial beings, such as the fish in the oceans during the Cambrian explosion, and then the reptilians that took onto the land, and then even past that to now where we are today. And yeah, it's crazy to think about that there's so much genetic expression that happens here. Millions of genetic expressions happen here versus just tens of thousands happen from our human cells.
Does it have anything to do with your gut instinct, your gut feeling? Is that your gut, like when your gut is telling you something? Your gut, is that what it really boils down to? You know, the billions of years of knowledge?
Yeah, could be.
In your gut.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that has to do with that, like, fuck yeah or no when you're first feeling out situations, or when, like you said, you have this intuition. Who knows? Maybe it is coming from that wisdom or that knowledge of the billions of years in the microbiome. So as you think about this, there's all of this bacteria, viruses, fungi, phages, yeast, parasites, etc. It just blows my mind to think that that's all located right here. And we got to know whether they're producing nutrients, toxins from the food that we eat. And then to leverage things like artificial intelligence to be able to parse this sample and then be able to give us these recommendations about the exact foods that we should be eating in order to minimize the chronic conditions that occur, like inflammation, inflammatory bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease. These things are rampant. All of the issues that we have with our skin, like eczema, and also keeping the goal of our gut balanced in general. So I want to come back to these screenshots again, because I think these are really important. Who knew that you would once be, getting told that, these are the foods to enjoy based on your microbiome. These are the foods to minimize based on your microbiome and all of the analysis. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. It's really awesome to, and we'll keep you guys posted on how this goes. Really grateful to be able to unpack future technology like this, and it looks like this is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys had a good time with what we've been unpacking here about, gut intelligence and about conflicting food advice being obsolete, also about eradicating suffering and living healthy for longer, knowing more information about ourselves. This body is such a data-heavy machine that has so much information that we don't know how to parse and make applicable to our lives. So this is a really good way to do that. And we highly recommend you checking it out. Again, there's a code simulation, links in the bio. It's $100 off, so the kit's down to $299. And we don't make any money, just openly and transparently. We make no money on it. We're doing this on behalf of sharing this wisdom and sharing this with more people around the world. And we hope that more people will try this and get to know it better. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Go share this with 2 other people.
We're not gonna
do the sample.
Yeah, we're not gonna
Let's
take
a
sample,
camera
take
to
a
the
look at
bathroom.
it, get a nice close-up
Let's
of
a close-up
a
of
heaping, steaming pile of feces. It's disgusting.
Mine would be
that's all the
green.
other neuroscience and bioscientists that we've been talking to. When are they going to work on our digestive system to kind of clean up that process, not make it so stinky and disgusting and filthy? The whole ingestive system needs
Remember,
work.
just on our show yesterday, we were talking about how there are civilizations on other rocks orbiting stars that might not even need to have sex to procreate. They can just procreate in other ways.
Did you see that movie Cocoon when they had sex in the pool? did you see that film from like the 80s with an alien? It was an alien.
So now let me finish by just saying that.
Sorry.
Well, just think about this now, Ronnie. You take this, which is, we've talked about this several times on the show. We put food in our mouths. The food goes through our digestive tract. We take nutrients from that food, and then we poop out the leftovers. And that whole notion of flatulence and
excuse me.
Yeah, excuse us. And then the process of having to take poops. Now, are there other species orbiting stars around the universe that don't have to go through this process? Hopefully that's true. And so thanks for tuning in. If you guys had a good time, share it with 2 other people. Let's get a little bit more people talking about this and sharing their wisdoms with other people about the gut microbiome and just talking about this more and understanding this data about us. Also, join us, subscribe, comment below with your thoughts about gut microbiome analysis, metatranscriptomics, taking fecal samples, shipping them off, getting analysis, keeping more in touch with our bodies in that sense. And join us on Patreon. Help us support this and continue doing cool projects like this. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Viome.com. Definitely go check them out. Thanks, everybody.